Hello everyone, you are welcome to today's lesson. And today's lesson, our main objective is to look at the solution to the assignment that was given on algebraic expressions lesson 3. Okay, so please take and stay with me whilst I walk you through the solution to the assignment, and I will make sure that I will address all the concerns that came to bear in your various submissions. Okay, so this was the question. And remember, I've told you that it's not none of your business, okay, to write a question and capture the question together with your solution for us. So if you are given a question and you are asked to solve, we are only interested in the solution. So start by writing solution after you've read the question and you've underlined the salient part, if any. This question, you are just asked to factorize this expression. Okay, so what do I do in factor? I said, okay, Sakman said, anytime I read question, I underline the salient part, if any. After that, what do I write first? Solution. And a lot of you didn't write the solution. Please, next time, okay, make sure you do the writing. The first thing that you write is solution. Okay, then after that, questions are numbered because we want you to equally number your solution so that marking will be very easy. I can know the question that you are providing the solution to, which some of you did. And immediately you do that, I've told you, that is costly. Even if you label it capital A, if you change the name of the question number, you are doomed. How much more you not numbering at all? So you need to number your solution, but number accordingly and appropriately, meaning precisely. Okay, so A. Then after that, what did I say you should do? You have to always extract whatever that you are asked to factorize. So giving this, or you can choose not to write the giving, but this must be there. Please take notes. Okay, that must be there. Okay, so at this point, what do? We are going to look at factorization, and I told you never expand. Because you are asked to factorize, the purpose is to introduce bracket, not to remove bracket. Okay, so those of you who expanded, obviously, you realize that you didn't heed to an advice that was given in lesson 3. So what do? This is an expression I start with equal to. If you start with implication, you are done. By now, you should know. Expressions are for equal to, or equal tos are for expressions. Then implications are for equations and inequality. So, okay, so equal to. Then a binomial expression. So this factor. Okay, so my first term, my second term, my first term and my second term, they have a common factor, a minus b, which is obvious. Okay, do they have any numerical factor? No, they have a variable factor, a binomial one, a minus b. So I bring that one out. And it starts with positive. So you, okay, equally factor out positive. So you don't write plus here, simply understood to be there. So a minus b is a binomial, always put it in brackets. If it's a binomial, monomial, you can choose, okay, to or not to. Okay, but binomial and above, you shouldn't. Okay, you should always put it in bracket. Fancy factor that one out. Then how do I get my term in my second factor? Because this contains two terms, my second factor will equally contain two terms. Okay, so by that, I hope you can see the cursor. Okay, so I'm going to write later. I can change it to the pointer. So how do I get this? My second term, what do you call it? Second factor terms. I'll get two terms. So I take the first term, divide by a minus b. So it's like 3a into a minus b all over a minus b. And you know that a minus b will cancel, so I'll be left with 3a. That's what you have here. Then your minus sign will come because you didn't factor out any. So then this also divided by what you took out. So it will be 4b, okay, into a minus b also over a minus b. If you can't do it mentally, do it as a rough work. It's safer. So that will give you 4b. So you come and write the 4b here, already minus here, then you close your bracket. So at this point, somebody could have drawn the conclusion there. Okay, knowing that per experience, immediately you do this, you are done with your factorization. However, if you didn't, you have to come and draw your conclusion at this point. So take notes. Now let's go and look at this one. Okay, so with this one too, it's the same thing. This is what we are going to do, only that just an addition. I've been given a binomial, okay, expression. So again, my b, and let me quickly add, never under any circumstance leave any spaces here, okay, between okay, your lines here. or your steps here, if I'm supposed to, your presentation here. Remember, the only time that I said you should leave a line, okay, not attended to, with nothing written, a space, is when you are moving from a sub question to another sub question. Here, you are not moving from a sub question to another sub question. Here, you are not moving from a sub question to another sub question. So you shouldn't leave any spaces there. Let this be the last time you will do that. Okay, so when I'm moving, okay, I'm going to, after I've concluded, and I'm going to write the B. Okay, I'm moving from a sub question to another sub question B. So Mr. Akman said I should leave at least a line, maximum 2 lines, but 1 line will do. So that's where you leave a line. Otherwise, you don't leave any line in your presentation. Please take notes. So you extract again. You can choose not to write a given, but this must be extracted. So you cannot come and write equal to straight away here A, then you come and write equal to this. What is equal to this? Something must come. The expression that you were given that is equal to. So you have to write the given expression first before you come and start with your steps, what you are doing on the expression. So equal to, what am I doing? Okay, a binomial expression, first term, second term. Okay, but my first term, each leading coefficient is negative. Start with negative. Mr. Ackman said I should factor out negative. So I'll factor out -1. Okay, do I have, because this is 4, the coefficient here, the number here is 1. Okay, -4, -1. So the factor will be -1. I bring that one out. If there was a 2 here, I would have factored out -2. But here it is only 1, so -1. Then after that, okay, I can see, because minus is common to this term, it's also common to this, or the leading coefficient is minus. I'm compared to factor out minus. Then what else? Okay, I can see P minus Q in this term. P minus Q here, so I have to factor out P minus Q. But because it's what, a binomial, I put it in bracket. So it will be minus and P minus Q also in bracket. Now, okay, I factored out, okay, the common numerical coefficient -1 and the variable, okay, factor, which is what, minus P minus Q. So I have done that. Now my second factor, because I have two term expression here, my second factor will also contain 2 terms. Okay, so I can see that this second term contains another binomial. So it means this must be in brackets. So my outer bracket should be a square one per experience. Or you can still use the normal one, but it will be a bigger one once you introduce this. Okay, then the outer one will be a bigger one. If you don't want to use the square bracket, you can use the normal bracket, but a bigger one. Remember. Okay, so how do I get my first term here? The same way. Take whatever that you have here, divide by what you took out. So it will be, I'm going to write, so let me pick the pen. So I'm going to get, okay, I will get minus as my rough work. So I will get minus 4a into P minus Q. Okay, the whole of that over what, okay, divided by what I took out. I took out minus out, then P minus Q. So obviously I know that this minus will cancel this minus. P minus Q will cancel this. I'll be left with 4a. That's what I have here. You come and do same here. You have minus there, then you have what? B minus 2a, then into P minus Q. Okay, so I divide both sides by, I divide by what? Or my factor that I took out, minus P minus Q, this in bracket. So minus will also cancel and give me positive. So once positive is here, then this will cancel, then I'll be left with B minus 2a. But because it's a binomial, I need to put it in bracket. But if you are mature, you can do that mentally without doing this. If you are not mature, play it safe. Okay, so I am mature, so I will know that minus will cancel. I've taken minus out. I've taken P minus Q also out here. So I'll be left with only this one. I'll write it. I've taken minus out. So this minus becomes plus. I've taken P minus Q out here. So I'll be left with only this one. Okay, so now I close my bracket. Some of you use the ordinary bracket, but you didn't close your bracket. Your bracket at any point in time must be even. So if you count and you have odd, then it means one is missing. Either the open one or the closed one. Look for the one that is missing, then close it. I guess my point is well made. So equal to your next step, you also write equal to a step. Okay, so ordinarily, I would have concluded here, but Mr. Ackman said you don't conclude, okay, with a factor containing two, a bracket inside a bracket, to be more specific. So it means I need to go and remove the inside bracket. Okay, so that my outer bracket becomes a normal bracket. If you use a normal bracket, only that it will be a bigger one, which will now move to the smaller one. So I will come and remove this bracket here, which will give me for A, this is 1 times the whole of this, so plus B minus 2A. So now again, I cannot conclude with this because in this bracket, some of the terms are like terms and I can combine. So I come and draw my conclusion. Therefore, okay, whatever that I was given or I'm giving will be equal to where I'm drawing my conclusion. I simplify this. So minus out, then P minus Q, then now 4A minus 2A will give me 2A, then plus B. That becomes, and most of you did exactly what was expected of you. Now let's see those of you who decided not to heed to advice. Yes, okay, you decided not to factor out negative. No issues. At a point, you should be able to redeem yourself, get back on track. So by that, this is what I mean. Assuming you have extracted this. So your first step will be equal to, and I'm talking about those who didn't factor out the negative. If you didn't factor out negative, okay, you can see P minus Q here, P minus Q. So you factor out the P minus Q, you put that in bracket. Okay, then now after that, what do? You can see a binomial factor here. Okay, monomial factor left. So once there's a binomial factor in one of the terms left, then you have to bring a square bracket. So now how do I get, okay, my first term in the square bracket? I take this one and divide by what I took out. I took out P minus Q. So it's I cancel the P minus Q. I'll be left with minus 4A. So I'll come and write the minus 4A. And I'm talking about those who didn't factor out the minus. So your approach will be this way. Then now what do? Okay, I took P minus Q out here. Okay, so no, this is P minus Q. So I'll be left with what? Minus in bracket B minus 2A. So I will get minus, because this is what will be left after taking out, cancelling this. I'll be left to the whole of this. So minus in bracket, okay, B minus 2A. Then you close your square bracket. So this will be equal to your P minus Q is there intact. Okay, however, you have a bracket inside a bracket. So Mr. Hartman said I have to deal with the inside bracket so that the outer bracket becomes a normal bracket. Okay, so I will get minus 4A, come and remove the bracket. So I'll get minus B, then plus 2A. Okay, I cannot conclude here because I can obviously see a like term that I can combine. So my next step will be equal to, again, P minus Q. Okay, then what do? I will get minus 4A plus 2A. That will give me minus 2A. Okay, then minus what? B. Okay, yes. You concluded this, okay, at this point. Therefore, okay, whatever that you were given is equal to this. You won't get a final score. Remember, I've told you, anytime you're asked to factorize, whether the question said factorize completely or not, your factorization must be complete. And by that, we mean none of the factors in your conclusion here should still be factorable. But if you look at the factors here, this is not factorable, but this is factorable because you can see that this contains, okay, -1 as a factor. Okay, so at that point, you need to come and factor out negative here. So it's either you factor out the negative in the beginning or you do that at the end. But if you do that at the end, okay, you will write more. So it will not be ideal. Always factor that at the beginning. So those of you who didn't factor at the beginning, you are going to end at this point. So you will move on. You get P minus Q. Okay, then you factor out negative. If I factor out negative here, okay, I'll still have a square bracket. Then I'll have -1, or somebody can write the -1 in brackets. Okay, then into, okay, 2A, then plus B. Okay, and you close the bracket. But this -1 will come out here. You know, anytime you have variables and numbers, you always write it. That's why you write 2AB. You don't write A2B or AB2. So the number will always come first. So -1 will come out. You don't write the -1. It's simply understood to be there. With this one, you can choose not to write the -1. The one there, just write the minus. And P minus Q. Then you end up getting the negative, you brought it out here. So you are left with this, so 2A plus B. Okay, so that will end you at what we have here. But you write more. So my point is always factor out negative first. And I believe all your concerns are addressed. Okay, avoid using implication to introduce your steps when you are working or you are giving an expression. Okay, avoid not introducing your steps with equal to. If you are dealing with what? An expression. Always introduce your steps with equal to. Okay, never forget to draw your conclusion as well. Okay, and again, never from today onwards leave spaces between your steps. So the only time where you leave a space, okay, will be when you are moving from a sub question to another sub question. Okay, and when you are dealing with sub question, don't write solution then come and write another solution. Write solution on top and come and write a question numbers there. It means the solution is affecting the whole numbers. Take notes. And don't come and write equal to, then you start from here. Okay, please take note and don't expand. If you are asked to factorize, don't expand. Just, okay, do your factorization. Okay, and that will always be the ideal way. At this point, I would want to say thank you very much for sticking and staying with me. And I'm hoping that going forward, you will do the right thing and protect all our mass. God bless us all.